Hey guys, it's Fox here. Today I'm going to give you the TLDR Cliff Notes version of the hour-long Torchlight stream. Alright, so first off, they're looking for community moderators to help with the Discord and such. I'll put a link in the description down below. I am now one of those moderators as well, so I'm incredibly happy about that. Uh, the start of the stream showed off some new concept art, which looks like it's more of either the New Frontier, or some of it's in the New Frontier, and some looked like it was the Vulture Frontier. I'm not sure if they're one and the same. They very well could be, because it kind of looked like the Vulture people were on a dwarf head or something like that. So I'm not sure if it's the same Frontier or not, but it looks fucking awesome. Tyler was fancy as ever, rocking his OG Diablo 2 t-shirt and a stellar hat as always. UI scaling has been added, which makes it feel so much less cluttered, and it looks so much more appealing to play. Like, just visually, it just looks so freaking fantastic with the UI scaled out, because it makes it feel like less claustrophobic, I guess. They added gear wardrobes, which basically allow you to show off your different sets and store your different sets and give a logical reason why you need to go back to town to actually switch those out. That's what Tyler was working on over the holidays. And you also have the potential to put that gear on guards in your Frontier as well. I'm not sure if that's in the game yet or not, but they were talking about that and different types of statues. So that's a very cool feature. I really dig that. The alpha mobs are going to be able to be tuned live from now on. They can tweak the numbers and have it go out without having everyone re-download a patch, so that's awesome as well. The skill buildings are no longer going to be created by crafting mats. They are going to take skill points and gold, which is great because gold had no use up until this point. So that's going to be a good change, most likely. I'm not 100% convinced on the skill points, but we'll see. I'm not horribly against skill points either, but I want to basically feel it out and see how it comes out. The Frontier specific character levels are now in game. They increase your health as well, scaling with level. So if you go back to a lower level area, it scales down, so you're not a god, but you'll still be powerful. It'll be like, I think he said 2 levels above what the current level is, so you'll still be strong. As mentioned in my other video, there's now a consumable tab, and there's a specific equipment slot for potions. It sounds like there's going to be about 20, like you can hold 20 potions per type, and then the stacks are of 5, and with potentially different types of potions having higher stack sizes to make it more interesting, but there's going to be different potions per different frontier, so that should be an interesting change up. Items will now have a confirmation dialog box before deleting them, because apparently people were having an issue with that. The minimap was zoomed out in game due to an earlier version of the game being zoomed in, and when they actually zoomed out the rest of the game, the minimap wasn't adjusted to that, so it's all zoomed in still. Now it's zoomed out and has points of interest on it with placeholder markers, but it shows off harvest nodes and shrines. They've mentioned that it's probably not going to be that way by default, but maybe a pet will unlock it or such. Waypoints are going to be enabled for each area now. They took a inspiration from WoW and EverQuest to have it where your character was kind of locked in one spot and it took traveling. But it turns out in an ARPG that doesn't feel too good, so they got rid of that. There's going to be different collars and tags and stuff for your pet, so now pets have items. Relic weapons are going to show up in your inventory now instead of as an experience bar at the bottom, so you'll be able to just open up your inventory and see what level your relic's at, and it'll still have the prompt screens to let you know when it's leveled up. There's a lot of stuff they're holding back currently to show off later when they're more complete. It sounds like a big chunk of what they're working on in January is endgame content, so they're waiting to get that more substantially ready before showing it off. There's 2 new skills for Dusk Mage, Spirit Well, which summons Netherlings to fight for you and tank for you, and procs your weapon effects. And then there's Energy Spike, which is a wave of spikes coming out from the ground, knocking people back, and also procs weapon effects and does weapon damage and whatnot. For the Forged, Vortex Bomb has been sped up a lot, so it's more fluid. The two new Forged skills are Rapid Strikes, which is a super awesome looking E-Honda punch effect type thing that does a cone AoE damage type thing. And then Servo-Driven Uppercut is a single target uppercut, self-explanatory, but it's a single target version of it, and it looks amazing. Like, that looks so fun. So I look forward to playing the Forged next go around, because it looks like they smoothed out that class a lot. There's an auto heat drain passive now to increase the amount of heat you dump. They also, by default, increase the amount of heat you dump as well. They've stated that they need to still add more tanky stuff for the melee version of the Forged, so they don't just get smacked, but it sounds like it's coming along quite nicely, though. There's a new Hyvid starting area, which subtly transitions from the main town into something that's more familiar, that's just been corrupted by Hyvid. It looks kind of like Wood's Edge, except just, infiltrated by Hyvid and stuff, and it's really cool looking. It has really eerie music to it. It's great. They're working on finishing the full Hyvid frontier before the next test, and they said they're going to have the Hyvid mapworks working for the next alpha as well. That being said, the next alpha isn't for a few more months. Tyler said many weeks. SoFetch said a few months, so it's going to be a bit before the next test, unfortunately, but it sounds like they're adding in a lot of big improvements, so they're basically just pushing out this last chunk of coding and such, and then they'll go back to testing. But in the meantime, they want to focus on getting these features all done and fleshed out. The world map has been improved some, but they don't want to show it off yet until they get it all fine-tuned. The third class is coming along nicely, still not ready to be announced, but it is apparently really fun to play, and Tyler has invested the majority of his time in playing it and making sure it's smoothed out for release. The consoles are looking really good as far as gameplay-wise. They say supposedly better than even the PC. They've got a couple of engineers working at it at all times, pretty much, to keep it up. Though it's estimated that the PC will release first and the consoles will follow shortly after. There's most likely going to be a reset before next alpha. They haven't said for sure yet, but Tyler thinks it's going to be the case. Levels are being aimed at 1 to 3 hours per level after level 3, but players move at different speeds, so take that with a grain of salt. The release date is still aimed at 2019. They've added RAD rating for forts to basically have better forts on display. It was either not working in the stream or they got unlucky or something. There's been no work done on achievements yet, but they have the designer from Marvel Heroes for achievements so it'll be awesome when it's done, but they haven't had them work on it yet. And that's about it. If you want to watch the full stream, I'll leave a link down below to the YouTube, and have a good one. Peace.